of the idea that the sister doesn't stick out, she conceals herself. It goes back to what we mentioned, the issue of what? As-sitru, to conceal yourself, to protect yourself from the evil that are out there. Now,
It should not be fragranced or perfumed.
a woman, she's not allowed to put perfume on if she leaves the house. The Prophet, he told us in a hadith, any woman who leaves the house and she places perfume on herself, the Prophet, he said that she's a zaniya. She's a fornicator. So it's very dangerous that you place perfume on yourself and you leave the house. Be careful. That does not mean that you have to smell bad. It doesn't mean that. But it doesn't mean you have to smell or place on yourself perfume. Now,
It should not resemble the clothing of men.
also, it shouldn't resemble clothing that men wear, for example. So a woman is not allowed to wear any clothing that one way or another resembles what men wear. So what some sisters do sometimes is that she's wearing a good jilbab, but she then on top of it would wear a jacket, for example. Fahimtum? Now what that does is that then now this shows the physique and the body. Are we all together, brothers? If you have to wear something because it's cold, then you're more than welcome to wear it, but wear it underneath your hijab. Now,
It must not look like the clothing of the disbelieving women.
we're prohibited as Muslims not to imitate the non-Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ prohibited men to not dress like women and women not to dress like men, and we're also prohibited from not wearing what the non-Muslims wear. Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum. Anyone who imitates a group of people, he's verily from them. So we're prohibited from what? We're prohibited from imitating the non-Muslims. Now,
It should be thick and not transparent.
also the clothing can't be transparent. It has to be very thick. Some sisters, they wear hijab which is very soft and silky, and sometimes it's actually see-through. You can see her neck. This is not a hijab that she's wearing. The Prophet told us in a hadith, كَاسِيَاتٍ عَارِيَاتٍ مُمِيلَاتٍ مَائِلَاتٍ. The Prophet spoke about a group of women who dress a certain way. Basically, they place on top of their hair, they get their hair and they put it up. They put their hair up. So it's like she's got, you can see her hair on top. The Prophet called it كَأَسْنَمَةِ الْبُخْتِ. It's like the hump of the camel. Why is she doing that? So she can give you the impression or make you know that she's got a lot of hair. The Prophet, he said in that hadith, those women, they are wearing clothes, but they're not wearing clothes. So the scholars, they went different explanations. Some said the reason why they're wearing clothes, but they're not wearing clothes, is either the clothing is too tight, or that the clothing is see-through. Look what the Prophet said. He said, لا يدخلن الجنة. Those women will not enter Jannah. ولا يجدن ريحه. And they're not going to smell the fragrance of Jannah. وإن ريحها لا يوجد من مسيرة كذا وكذا. The smell of Jannah will be smelt from a very far distance. So my sisters, these conditions that we just mentioned, that we've put forward for you all, if you choose not to follow it, if you just dismiss it, if you ridicule it, if you say, I don't care, if you laugh at those who bring it to you, if you make it a gender war, wallahi, you're just going to harm yourself. This will not help you amam Allah ta'ala yawm al-qiyamah. Do not let shaitan play with your mind. Are we all together, brothers? In our religion, there are rules and regulations that need to be followed. Do the people choose not to follow it? No problem. How long are you going to live for? Live for as long as you live. You're going to come to Allah yawm al-qiyamah and you'll be accounted. This is not specific to the sisters. Even the men have matters of clothing that they need to observe as well. If brothers choose not to follow those rules and regulations as well, they have to respond to it the Day of Judgment with good answers and good explanation. وَإِلَّا سَيُحَاسِبُهُمُ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. So the idea that whenever a sister is advised on an issue related to hijab, she says, who are you to tell me all you just men do is talk about women's hijab, or a man is corrected in his wrongs and the way that he carries himself and what he does is corrected, he makes it into look like, oh, you sisters are just emotional. And it turns into a what? A gender war. Our religion, walillahi alhamdu wal minna, a woman can correct a man and a man can what? Correct a woman. We have an entire book which Al-Imam al-Zarkashi put together, and guess what he called it? He called it Istidrakat Aisha ala ba'd al-Sahaba, the corrections of Aisha on the other companions. Aisha correcting the companions. She corrected Abdullah ibn Umar, she corrected Jabir, she corrected Mu'ad, she corrected Hudayfa, she corrected many companions on some things that they've said. She said, Akhtat, you did a mistake, this is not the reality, this is not what it is. Are we all together, brothers? The Sahabas didn't say, who are you to tell us? Are we all together? They corrected her on certain issues that she said. Sah. Look what Aisha said. She said, Man qala, and she said, Ma bala an-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam qa'iman. The Prophet never urinated standing up. The companion Hudayfa, he said, Ra'aytu an-Nabiy sallallahu alayhi wa sallam yabulu qa'iman. I saw the Prophet urinate standing up, he said. Aisha spoke about what she knew, and he spoke about what he knew. وَالْمُثْبِتُ مُقَدَّمٌ عَلَى النَّافِ. The one who knows is a proof over the one who doesn't know. Are we all together? So they corrected each other. They were honest. They all knew that this is what Allah wants, this is what the religion is about, and they corrected each other, my brothers and sisters. I ask Allah, He opens our hearts to advices. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He increases us in iman and in taqwa. May Allah forgive us for our shortcomings and our mistakes.